Warning, this podcast contains Caleb's calendar dog. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Pretty Little Liars, Season 6, Episode 19. Did you miss me? I'm your host, Dom. With me, my co-host, April.
Hola.
How's it going?
Wonderful.
So what'd you think of this episode?
It was alright. A little disappointed with something, but
We'll get
there eventually.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little disappointed.
I freaked out in the middle of this episode. Right? When Hannah, she's sitting there and she's telling Spencer, she's like, I did it. I killed Charlotte. I followed Arya. I saw Charlotte go into the church. She was sitting there praying, and I beat her to death with a candlestick and then threw her out of the balcony of the church. And I was just like, what the fuck just happened?
She made it very believable, but I didn't believe it, even as she was saying it.
Oh my god, I 100% believed her.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't think Hannah has it in her.
I totally believed her.
She'd be like the girl who was like, "Oh my god, my nail!" Like, she's not gonna do something like that. Let's be real here.
Well, the Hannah that I knew from before wasn't good at faking crying and thing. Like, she wasn't up to that. She was not good at that.
Yeah, but I mean, faking crying is far way away from killing someone. So
well, yeah, but she still had the tears and everything in her eyes telling the story, and I was like, I wasn't trying to take anything away from the actress, but I was like, Hannah can't act. I'm not talking about the actress. The actress can act. Right. She's great, but I was like, Hannah can't act, like whatever. And
I mean, like I said, she made it believable, but I didn't believe it even though she made it believable. You know what I'm saying?
Spencer certainly believed it.
Yeah, she did, which, I mean, it's crazy. You're her best friend. Like,
yeah.
Sorry. You should know her a little better than that.
Yeah, but she was really believable. She's like, yeah, I snuck out. I was the one that was on the footage. It wasn't because we were trying to cover it up for Arya. It was because of me. And then she's like, she just turns to Caleb. She's like, see? It totally worked. We got this. And I was like, my head just exploded.
See? Mine not at all.
No?
No, I really didn't expect it to be the way it did. I mean, it's Pretty Little Liars. They don't ever give us a big truth bomb like that.
That's true.
I mean, no, not for 1 second.
But when they're sitting there, like, discussing this plan, I'm like, what exactly is the plan? Like, Hannah's going to confess to who? And I get it's A, but, like, what is that going to accomplish? Like,
I don't know. I think their plan kind of sucks. Let's be real.
And Caleb's all like, yeah, I've been working on this stuff. I can do this. I'd really like to talk to Toby. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what the fuck? Spencer's like, yeah, we to clue Toby in on it, whatever. And I'm going, what is going on? Like, I understand they're all coming together and they're all working together and they're fighting back for once. Like, this is the first big time that they've ever tried to do this. And that's incredible. Every time they've tried small little pushes and it's all blown up in their face. This is a really big push. So
I know. It should play out interestingly.
Yeah. And Spencer got a little snippy there when they were like,
oh, yeah, it's their plan.
Yeah, she's like, it's their plan. What do you want to do? Wedge myself between them on the sofa? And I was like,
She was a little hater. She was a little jealous.
Yeah.
I mean, the ex-girlfriend is working hand in hand with her now boyfriend. I mean, I get where she'd be a little snippy, but at the same time, like, you knew that was Hannah's ex, and you knew all of you were kind of thrown into the situation when you and him decided to take it to that step. So,
yeah.
I mean, you got to deal with everything that comes along with that.
Spencer's just an angry drunk. That's what it comes down to. You see all that wine she was drinking?
Yeah, I happened to notice. I was a little jealous.
See, at least you're not an angry drunk like her.
No, I'm a fun drunk.
You are.
Most of the time. Unless I'm really angry before I get drunk, then.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't experienced that.
No,
I got to experience the
not many people.
fun drunk, you know?
The fun, broken key, can't get into my car drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, good times.
It was. It
Anyway.
was really good times. But, so, the episode ends with Hannah texting, "Leave my friends alone, I killed Charlotte." And then
Right.
you get a Blondie remix cover, whatever, you know, playing over while 1s and 0 binary code is, like, going through the satellite in the air, and you see it pick up the phone. But what you see at the very last scene is A is watching a campaign video from Spencer's mom, so...
Missed that little detail.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, it was on the laptop right next to the phone, so it's like the American flag certified. I'm like, this is really weird because it's just like they showed a city and like a mountainscape on the laptop, and I'm like, what? And then it just cuts to an American flag waving, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it's like Spencer, it just showed
Mrs. Hastings,
Mrs. Hastings' campaign, and I was just like, oh, okay, so. Looks like next episode might even be the campaign.
All right. That should be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to play into the way it's been going the last couple weeks, you know, where we saw the wedding cake and, you know, even though we
had the wedding.
Well, even though we already had the wedding, they showed the wedding cake at the end, and we're like, okay, there's something that happened at the wedding that we didn't know. Like, A was there.
Well, besides the pictures
we saw that the next episode, and we were like, oh, okay, so... Yeah, following the trend, I'm expecting to see the campaign election, you know?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So, but it seems like one of the A's, because we know that there's supposedly 2 people threatening the girls right now. One of them apparently seems to be Sarah Hart. She confessed, didn't she?
I mean, yes, but again, I don't know if I'm fully on board. I think she has obvious reasons to do it, obviously. I don't want to go with the obvious answer, even though she, you know.
Yeah, because I mean, Mona, this episode, Mona called Emily, pinned her down. You know, it's like, okay, so you called Charlotte from the Two Crows Diner. She's like, yeah, I waited at the Two Crows. I wanted to find out what Charlotte was going to say. Charlotte knew all our secrets, you know.
Right.
So
I mean, it makes sense. If I were in Mona's shoes, I would have done the same thing. I mean, you don't want things, you know, from your past being dredged up out of nowhere. So I get the thinking, but do we really fully believe Mona's story either?
Well, she said she didn't show, and
which is what I'm saying. I don't know.
She didn't. We know she walked into the church.
Right.
So I'm gonna say she didn't meet Mona. So I'm gonna say Mona is telling the truth at this point.
Okay.
But
yeah, I mean,
there's definitely more to it.
It's not as cut and dry as it seems.
Right. Because we see Mona talking to what they called Sarah's helping hands, which is actually her driver, her chauffeur.
Yeah.
And it was what, Spencer and Emily?
I think so.
That just like basically mauled him. It was like, oh, we hit your car, and you know they're tailing him, and they find out he's got this poster tube with Radley blueprints and room number and everything in it, and like shoves it down into Sarah's car as she's driving by. And we had seen Mona talking to him, and we later learned it was to relay information to Sarah that Mona wanted to talk to her.
Right. I mean, which is the obvious person if you know that he's been the helper to go to and ask to talk to her when you can't find where she is.
Right. I mean, that guy was being super shady too. Like,
oh yeah,
he's sitting there eating
I thought he was shady the second he was walking her in to the funeral. Like,
he's sitting there eating a ice cream, like a drumstick, you know, the ice cream, and I was just like, what is he? He's so suspicious, like at this ice cream truck, just like lapping this ice cream like a dog. Yes. He's in like a nice business suit and everything. You don't see guys like that, like walking down the street licking ice cream like a dog.
That would so be me. Dressed up, heel, skirt, like, give me that ice cream. I'm good, thanks.
That seems like something you don't get those particular ice creams. I don't know.
I think he's shady for other reasons, not for the ice cream.
Well, of course. But it was just like the way they were tailing him, and he's just standing there like in one spot just like licking the ice cream. It's just like, I don't know. It's like he was being really
very
weird.
Awkward.
Yeah, well that too.
Yeah.
You know. So when Sarah confronts Mona, she's like, "So you wanted to see me?" And Mona's like, "Hey, leave them alone." And she all but admitted to it. She's like, "No, I'm not going to." So that means she's involved in them somehow. But I don't know if that's if Sarah's taking it as because she's been stalking Emily, and
right. I mean, I just don't want to think that it is what we think it is. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's every time with the show. I never want to think what they make us think. Like, they point us in a certain direction just to steer us back and surprise the hell out of us. I'm so sick of being surprised.
Like Allison tripping down the stairs, right? Supposedly this is premeditated involvement.
I literally went back and rewound because I was looking at my food for a second.
Right, and then she was on the floor.
And then, I heard her fall, and I was like, "What? How did that happen? Did he push her? Like, what just happened?" And I go back, and literally, she tripped. Like, how is this all of a sudden pre-planned by? I'd get none of that. I mean, I guess technically it can. Weirder things have happened.
I guess,
but I still get none of it. Like, I think she was just clumsy. Shouldn't have been wearing big heels on that carpet.
Yeah, so do you think that this person is trying to take credit for Allison falling and be like, see, this is me doing all this, and trying to really mess with the girls?
I think so, but weirder things have happened that A's done.
Yeah, because they go, we tried to make A tried to make an accident like Arya. No, Arya's was definitely, you could tell something was going
Arya's
on.
Was something a little crazy. This was literally she turned on her heel and fell. No, I don't want to believe.
So what did A put a magnet in her heel?
Right.
Put a magnet in the floor and bunch the rug up and just
a little bit of a dent in the floor so
right.
her heel would get stuck. No, nobody's taking their time out to do that. I don't care how bad you hate these girls.
No. No. So she trips down the stairs, ruins the bed and breakfast, kind of has a little bit of a concussion, goes to the hospital. And then Allison starts doubting herself. She goes, this is I can't be happy. It's basically, she's like, I can never be happy because to have happy, if I'm too happy, then something bad has to happen to offset it. And that's not how that works.
No. I mean, I get where she's coming from. Let's be real.
Okay.
But at the same time, come on, girl, stop being so emo. You're not in 7th grade anymore. It's not cool.
It seems like all the other girls have grown up and matured. Allison's the only one that hasn't really matured anywhere.
Like I said, I get it. She was out on the run for so long. She had to be a lot stronger than she, should have had to be at that age. But she also could have just stayed home and told the cops all those years ago instead of going on the run. So,
it's true.
Yeah. I see it. I don't see it,
But Hannah goes to visit her in the hospital and they find a card, it's got the staircase on the...
Yeah, and then there's people X'd out on it. Well, the girls.
Yeah, the only people that were not crossed out were Spencer and Hannah.
Right.
So...
Which is, interesting.
If Spencer's going to get crossed out, it's going to be at the election.
Oh, yeah. Something big's going to happen there.
Have a campaign banner fall out of, whatever.
Yeah. Something,
Final Destination, the sign coming down swinging at her, something like that.
Yeah. It'll be something crazy.
But
they'll have one of her nudes that she sent Caleb.
Yeah, it'll be all over the campaign broadcast.
Yeah.
Oof. That'll ruin her.
Sucks to suck, girl.
Yeah. But the big thing was dream sequence, real sequence, Mrs. De Laurentiis. What?
I'm not feeling it. If that's the twin theory, I'm not feeling it. Not 100%. I'm trying to think of how they can make it kind of cool. Besides Allison's mom comes back. Other than that, I don't know. Who cared about her? She was irrelevant in the first place.
Right. So I'm thinking, we didn't see who killed Mrs. D.
No.
Right. We assumed it's been A this whole time.
Right.
What if it wasn't?
Could be.
What if Mrs. D killed Mrs. D.
That's too much like for me to handle. What? What? Mrs. D killed Mrs. D?
Yeah. Okay. So we don't know if. All right. So let's assume that Mrs. De Laurentiis has the twin.
Right.
And
so her twin killed her other twin.
Mrs. De Laurentiis, killed the twin
to make it look like her.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I mean, that's what I'm assuming with the whole twin theory,
because clearly this one she's sitting there talking to Allison, so I don't think it's like she knew what to say, she knew the thing, so this has to be Mrs. De Laurentiis.
It does.
All right, this would not be the twin. The twin is already dead at this point if that's the case.
Yes. Oh yeah, 100%.
So my theory now with the twin is,
you make this interesting. I'm going to sit back.
Okay. One of two people. So she's going to clearly have a different last name if she was married.
Okay.
Even if she wasn't married, she's going to have a different last name from De Laurentiis.
Right.
Because she was married to Mr. Dealer, whatever. Okay, so
yep.
I'm going to have a completely different last name. What if that last name was Harvey? Right? That could be Sarah's mom.
Okay.
Right? Then that would explain why Sarah was kidnapped in the first place. Because it's still family. Right? The other one that I was thinking is the last name could be Young, as in Bethany Young, who we haven't gotten any more information about.
Okay.
So
both make sense, yes. I was still hoping that it would be a better character with a twin. A twin that's still alive.
I agree. I would have preferred Jason or something like that. But if you think of it and you look at it as
out for Jason.
Right. But if you look at it as Mrs. D had a twin and it was one of those two kids, say it was Bethany. And then that twin found out that Bethany was dead and it had to do with Charlotte. If, whoever was in the grave, Charlotte, Bethany was in the grave, right?
Yeah, no.
In Allison's grave.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so then they would come for revenge, and then the two of them would have to duke it out, and Mrs. D would kill, one of them would win.
As her.
Yeah, and then probably went back and, took over her identity,
her
Yeah. That's what I'm guessing. I could be wrong, but...
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. That I could be okay with. I'm still not so happy with who it turned out or may turn out to be. If we're at all correct, I mean, that could have just been a really intense fucking drugged up... Whoa, sorry for swearing. Intense drugged up...
Watch your fucking mouth.
That she just had, I mean... She's in the hospital.
The reason I think it's real...
Weirder things have happened, but I think it's real. I do.
The reason I think it's real is because she told Allison to go to sleep, and when Allison closed her eyes, she walked out the door. She didn't just stand there and watch Allison fall asleep, and then the camera cut away. We watched her walk out the door after Allison closed her eyes and nodded off. So, why would a dream character need to go out through the door? They wouldn't.
Do that.
So.
Okay. I mean, you're right. I still think it's real too, but I don't want to say it is without more confirmation.
Yeah. All right.
I want more info on that.
Yeah, I agree. We hopefully will be getting more in the finale. Yeah, in the finale tomorrow. Tomorrow.
No.
Next week, whatever.
Tuesday,
yeah.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
It's close. Close. I can't. The finale. It's sneaking up on me. I didn't realize it was so close.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Hannah's still in town. We find out, and when we first see Hannah, she's with Lucas, and Lucas is fixing the loft, and I was kind of surprised she didn't have Caleb doing that.
I mean, I'm not. It's Lucas's house. She obviously had to tell him. He's obviously going to come back. He's always been in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to want to fix the situation. And then he offered her that freaking loan. And I was like, damn, girl, jump on that.
wasn't even like a loan. It was more of like a business partnership. Because he said we could work it out as I forget how he worded it. Like a I don't know now. But the way he worded it, it was like a research. It was like some kind of research thing that it could be done, you know, and all. And it's hers, basically. She gets a whole clothing design factory, you know, with designers and, you know, could make her own line and everything. And she's like, no, I can't take it. He goes, no, go run it by Jordan, because Jordan's still, you know, off in New York.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
That is a.
She should do it.
She should.
She should. I would. So I'm not even gonna lie.
But would
I'd be
would
like,
that
thanks,
be
Lucas?
Would that be considered using Lucas though? Like you're just using him for his money at that point?
I mean, I don't. At that point, whatever. I'll pay
Whatever.
it back eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
When I have my empire.
Right. It's crazy. Lucas just. I
I'm
can't believe how
horrible.
much money he came into. You know.
I mean, he was a smart kid. That's what happens when you're the nerd in school.
Yeah.
Lucky him. Unlucky Hannah for not dating him back then.
I bet she's
Or now.
regretting it now. You know.
Yeah, I would.
She's juggling 3 guys right now.
Yeah.
She really is.
She needs to like let go of Jordan. I don't see that actually lasting.
Well, Jordan wants her to come back. She doesn't want to go back to New York.
Yeah, no.
So
I don't see it lasting. I really don't.
she's like, you know, even if I was in New York, I'd be worrying about my friends. So she's like, I have to be here.
Mm-hmm.
So Jordan doesn't seem too thrilled with it. He just wants her
Nope.
back.
Yep.
So yeah, but at least Dr. Rollins understands Allison's situation and thanks Hannah for being there to help, you know, and realizes how. And what was that? Hannah's like, yeah, we're all connected like a big bowl of linguine or something, and I was like, what?
I mean, I got her analogy. They got so many tangled.
I know. I was just like her Hannah-isms. That's what I call them because.
She's fabulous.
When she called it, you know, was it a couple seasons ago? She called it a gazebo instead of a gazebo. A gazebo.
Oh, I never.
Yeah.
I guess I probably knew when I saw it, and I probably was like, oh my god, what a nerd.
And her and Spencer, right
that.
around the same time, had an argument about I keep all my geese in a row, and Spencer's like, no, it's all your ducks in a row, and she goes, it's the same thing, and Spencer's like, no, geese quack, or you know, whatever, and I was just like, oh my god, like they're bickering over like the littlest. Hannah's just great with her little things, but the linguine, that thing, that just, I was like, Hannah, what are you doing? Just stop. But well, so we got Ezra and Arya. You know,
they went out to, was it lunch or dinner with her boss?
Is dinner.
Okay.
Basically, boss wants a complete draft soon.
She also doesn't want Arya and Liam or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Keeping up to date as much.
She said she doesn't want her involved with anyone when she's writing the book, so that includes Ezra.
Yeah, but I think.
But she doesn't know about Ezra.
No, she just knows it's the student-teacher relationship. She doesn't. So she's not thinking that she's putting 2 exes in a room and forcing them to write and be together. Like,
right. Liam did not disclose that information to her.
No,
he kept that to himself.
Was awesome of him.
But the boss also said that Liam agreed that the distance was a good thing. So Liam wanted the distance too.
I had a feeling it was coming with the whole Ezra.
But that seems really weird, the way he came in and was like, oh, you got your book, like last episode, he came in and was like, you got the book deal, congratulations, and Ezra's like, oh my god, you know, this is awesome, I'm gonna go, you two have some time. He's like, thank you so much for being here for her. It's like, he seemed genuine about it.
I didn't think he was that genuine. No one's gonna be that genuine. I'm sorry.
I guess.
I didn't see it. I saw that they were gonna end up either breaking up or having a break because of the fact that, I mean, she's thrown into spending so much time with her ex now. There's no way he's not going to be jealous when he's all the way in Boston half the time, you know?
Yeah. And then we saw Arya when she was reading a chapter of the book, basically like imagined it as Ezra and Nicole.
And their last interaction.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. And it now watching this, I realized the girl that played Nicole is actually one of the main villains in the originals this season. So it was really cool to see her again, because I wouldn't have ever picked up on that if they didn't do this flashback, because she's kind of off on the originals right now. They dealt with her. She's handled at the moment. Okay. So it's interesting, because I never would have picked up on it otherwise. So, but I don't know. Outside of that, it was a really kind of concise episode. The only thing that I thought was really weird, and I don't understand what was going on, was the Spencer Caleb flashback. Like, the only thing that I got out of that was he was purchasing a piece of artwork that was on a calendar at his foster family's place, and he just really loved the dog, and I don't understand what the purpose of that flashback was. Like, what were they trying to achieve with that?
I think it's going to be something like the club. I mean, we're never knowing.
The lacrosse team. It seemed like it was trying to build into the Spencer Caleb relationship, but I didn't get that feeling, like, at all. Like,
they're still so weird to me anyways.
Well, I think because the only thing now that I can think of now, like, looking back on it, was she said, "Where's the dog?" He said, "I left it in New York." So, in other words, he left it with Hannah's. He had enough sense to bring the calendar from his foster family with him to Rosewood, and then brought it from Rosewood to New York. But when he left Hannah, he left it with Hannah. So that might be the only thing after Spencer's comment of, "What do you want me to do? Sit between them on the couch?"
Okay.
You know.
Get it.
So, I don't know. That whole flashback seemed really weird to me. But, yeah. I don't know. Caleb and Hannah, they got a plan. We'll see. How do you think this plan is going to
go? Horrible. I don't think it's going to work.
No?
No. Their plans always fail.
I mean, it is the finale, and we already know Pretty Little Liars is renewed for next season. We know that for a fact. It was season 5 ends. What are we in? 6? Are we in 6 right now? Yeah, season 6. Season 6 and 7 were renewed together.
Right.
So we don't know if there's going to be a season 8. We don't know for sure.
I don't think there's going to be.
Yeah.
But I do think that, I mean, their plans, like, not going to work, and it's something's going to come through.
Yeah.
It might half work, but then they find out, like, a bigger part of the secret, and brings us to next season.
Because I'm saying, if this is Sarah Harvey, that Hannah just texted, Sarah was just at the police station, like, blaming Arya for being the caller at the Two Crows Diner. Right. So why wouldn't she take this to the police? So I'm thinking that this one is not Sarah, the one that they messaged.
I don't know. We'll find out.
So, yeah. Anything else for this episode?
No, not really.
No.
Again, I hate the twin theory.
I think it'll be interesting if it ends up being Bethany or Sarah's mom. That's the only way I could really see it being interesting. But I don't know. From what I understand, the twin theory, whatever, the twins was supposed to be something coming up in the finale. One of the two, something that's supposed to change Allison's life forever. So if it's her mother being alive, that technically qualifies. So, but yeah. Anyway, the finale next week. The episode is called "Hush Hush, Sweet Liars," with the stalker threatening to kill all of them if they don't divulge Charlotte's killer by the election. The Pretty Little Liars and company, at wit's end, must boldly fight back. So that seems like they don't believe Hannah already, but we'll see. As Spencer and Toby work together to catch Sarah Harvey, Yvonne wonders where Toby's true affections lie. Oh, more exes working together.
Not unusual.
Right. Ezra finishes the last chapter of his book, finally ready to say goodbye to Nicole. Arya comforts him during this emotional time, and old feelings bubble to the surface.
Called this.
Yep. While Caleb works intently on his plan to protect Hannah, they reflect on what could have been.
Called this one too.
Meanwhile, Allison experiences strange visions and starts to question her sanity.
She's a little crazy, so whatever.
Emily keeps tabs on her to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, she's a little crazy, but it's her mom. That whole thing's gonna be bugging her out. So
yeah,
I don't know. Should be a good one next week. Well,
should.
This Tuesday.
Yeah.
2 days.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that about does it. You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. No.
Nowhere.
You can find April down below at nowhere, that big blank space, because she's
blank space. Blank spot.
she's Taylor Swift. She's got a blank space, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not that skinny.
No?
Or that famous, or that rich.
You can find us all and others on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube. That gets you every time on /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Until next week, for the finale. See you guys later. I can't believe it's the finale already.
I know, that's crazy. But I have to